Alright guys, let's go ahead and get started. How you guys doing? Doing alright myself. Let's see, top of the hour. Let's see what we're going to talk about before we jump right into it. I had one of my campaigns finish up, which was nice. Here, just happen to have it on the shelf. Got some. Our DM is a big miniatures painter for that campaign, and put together. We got to take home our miniatures of our characters that we've been playing with for 2 years. See. There you go. Probably can't see it very well. Little sorcerer. And our trusty party mascot animal companion. Or dog. So that's been a lot of fun. We're going to jump into a new campaign. Looks like it's going to be based off of Salt Marsh. So going to be kind of a exploration, jumping around, kind of with some dungeons and adventures kind of sprinkled in between. Be interesting. Haven't really done. It's been a while since I've done a sort of sea water focused campaign, both either as a dungeon master or as a player. So that's gonna be pretty interesting. Let's see. Is there other things to talk about? Oh, got a big response for the hex crawling video. Surprisingly, I didn't really know that people were going to be that interested in it. It's one of those things that you see a lot of YouTube, a lot of D&T YouTubers kind of tackle, but it doesn't ever seem, at least to me, that there's usually a big audience for that, or people are very interested in it, because I feel like most creators make like one video on it and then they're done with it. So maybe it's just because I'm obviously a smaller channel that I see the numbers up there, so there's maybe some desire for that sort of content. So I think one of my next videos we talked about was some of the other people who've watched the videos and seemed that they're interested in wanting a more detailed thing about sort of what we're doing here, was sort of the exploration rules and how we do the hex crawling. So probably going to do that in the coming weeks and talk that out, and maybe some of the other stuff that kind of goes along with that. The resource dice, the hitting the box thing that we did when we're searching for locations that we don't really know where they are, and sort of the overland travel, which we touched on briefly with Leah, but we haven't really gone into very deeply. We've really only done it the 1 or 2 times. So just because this isn't sort of a globe-trotting campaign, or at least it hasn't turned out to be one. Very sort of like stuck in the local area, which is fine. I actually really like that. So I am not complaining about that. Is there anything else that we really need to talk about before we jump in? I don't think so. I think everything's pretty straightforward. So we're picking up session 33. So let me go ahead and let me just look at what we got going on as far as what happened last time. So last time we actually did not end up getting that much accomplished, mainly because we kept getting into fights. Primarily fights with hyenas and gnolls, right? That's basically what happened. So we started off that last session waking up in the middle of the night to 5 giant hyenas that were attacking the keep's outbuilding that we were sleeping in, right? We got the testimony about Dren's death from his majordomo, and we're going to run that back over to Split Valley Oasis and turn that into the Reeve there. Let them know, you know, a noble's been murdered, and the person who murdered them is also dead. Sort of overall sort of encapsulation. We have to kind of give our own personal testimony to that as well. But that's what happened. We opened up the night. Dren was already dead, but giant hyenas, they killed, I think, 2 people, maybe, before we got them taken care of. We did have a Gnoll Beastmaster show up that let us know that they were, that these hyenas weren't just acting by themselves, right? They actually had gnolls attached to them. We did find out that the gnoll dropped some platinum pieces, right? This was a spectacularly, almost suspiciously wealthy gnoll that we found raider, and so we thought maybe that they were sort of hired to maybe attack us, but we failed those investigation checks and we have no clue. So we have no clue that we're missing anything, so we're probably not going to search into that any further. We're going to head back to Split Valley Oasis. Like I said, we didn't get very far because we got attacked again while we were trying to sort of like we were carrying the boats from the river to the shoreline. So that is sort of where we are. We got there. We're going to launch those. So we're basically what we're doing is we're going to move into the lake proper, and then we're going to paddle our way all the way back over to Split Valley Oasis. And a reminder that we do have disadvantage on the effort dice because it is raining very, very heavily. So we're gonna have to do that. I think that's it though. I mean, like I said, we didn't actually get a whole lot accomplished last time because we kept getting into fights. The dice were not with us last time, so that's what we're picking up this time. Okay, so what are we doing? We are launching the boats. We're heading back to Split Valley Oasis to deliver the testimonies, right? We also have down here to make a note about the continued corruption at the abandoned water shrine, and if that's going to end up affecting Rhymefire since he's taken up lodging there. We did not do very well with our insight checks to try to see if he was nervous about anything. I mean, mainly we were trying to figure out if he was still nervous about Gimbal and Gimbal's men trying to hunt him down. But as far as we know, they have no idea where he is, and no idea where we are. They've kind of disappeared into the mist. We don't exactly know where they are. So we know that they're hanging out there somewhere. He's gonna show back up. He's gonna rear his ugly head back up at some point. I mean, Gimbal is just not the sort of person who's gonna let Leah and the rest of them go without something, right? There's gonna be some sort of payment. They're gonna have to deal with that at some point, because they have metaphorically burned that bridge and very literally burned that camp. So, you know, our once former partner Gimbal is not going to be very happy with us, and we do know that Gimbal is a man of means, and you know, based on the industry that he works in, basically monster hunting and slaving, that he is not. He's not a great guy, right? He's gonna make us pay our due. But yeah, I think that's it. I think we can just go ahead and hop in because that was really it. So here we go. Let me hop over so you guys can see what I'm seeing. All right, perfect. So yeah, the session start we have there, launch of the boats at the South Shore of Split Valley Oasis. The lake. Let's hop over there. Ooh. That's not going to help us. Yeah, so we are here. We took our short rest. Let me pull that hex information up. Alright, so we took a short rest, and that's sort of where we're going to head out. So we're here. We're going to launch these boats. We're going to move it back up there. Just as a matter, where are we as far as... How are we feeling? We talked about doing those hex explorations stuff, so we can go ahead and just take a look right at that. All right, so oh yeah, so we've actually been rolling all right. We're only at 4, so we can make it there, maybe, or else we're gonna get tired on the lake, which is not a great place to be because we can't really rest on the lake. So we may have to push it to get to Split Valley Oasis, or hopefully we roll well and that won't be an issue. But let's go ahead and take off. So alright, so we're going to launch those boats. So we do that, immediately need to roll our 1d4 at disadvantage. So we're taking the higher number, oop, and there's 4 right there. So we'll add that to our running total, we're up to 8. So things already don't look very good for us. Let's see, do we run across any sort of random encounter? We do. We immediately run into yet another combat. Great. This isn't what we wanted. Alright, let's go, we're level 4, right? Yeah, okay. So we are a level 4 party, so we'll just fix this real quick. Bring these back up. Alright, so let's look for a natural environment. Let's go with aquatic. We can also probably do coastal, because we are right there. Let's do that, and we're 4 level 4s. Let's see, we always try to get let's always get us one of these. Alright, probably not a giant spider. I don't think we're gonna do lake spiders. I actually have no clue what sea spawn are. What are sea spawn? Okay, they're just regular old humanoids kind of looking things. Or, all right, sure, why not? That seems like an appropriate enemy. So how many of these can we get? All right, so we can get up to 4 of them. So we'll just roll a d4, and that's how many are going to show up. Actually, let's do instead of a d4, let's no, let's do a d4. I was going to say d3 plus 1, but yeah, let's just do a d4. All right, so there's going to be 2 of them. And let's go over here. Let's see if they're in here. Not all the monsters are in here, but quite a few of them are. Most of them are, I should say. All right. All right, so these are the sort of creatures as we're sort of rowing our canoes along, or boats along, and we see 2 sort of heads blobbing in the lake. At first, you know, when you come across something like that, you're like, oh, it must be a turtle. And then you're like, yeah, that's too big to be a turtle. I'm like, well, we don't know of any sort of like alligators, crocodiles, or anything like that should be here. So let's give ourselves a little perception check. How about that? So we've got a bunch of people with us, so I'll give Leah advantage, and which is a 16. She is trained, but she has -1. All right, does that beat the DC? Yeah. Okay. So we noticed them early on, so pretty far out. Let's ask an oracle question. Are we beyond 120 feet? No. Okay. Let's see, are we within 60 feet? No. So we said we noticed them, so they've got to be even further out then. Don't need to ask that. All right, so they're further out than 120 feet that we picked them up. So that does give us the opportunity to maybe try to avoid them. I think we're probably too far here to try to make some sort of insight check to see if they're like curious or if they're just nonplussed that we're here. If they seem aggressive, probably not aggressive. We have a larger party than they do, so they're probably not looking to attack. Unless there are more hidden that we don't know about. We just see the 2 at least. So let's try to, I think we're just going to try to make our way around them rather than get into this fight. Try to make a fight out of this. So I'm going to let her do sort of like a basic... We're going to call this a charisma check, a persuasion check, I guess. But it's really just sort of like body language, like 2 people, you know, passing each other. There's like, yeah, we don't really want to talk to you or have anything to do with you, and see how they react to it. So she does have a little bit of a bonus to this. She's going to need it. I don't think she has that much of a bonus, though. Yeah, so that's a 9, so this is probably... Yeah, though that DC was only 11, but 11 is still higher than 9. So, what are we gonna do? Alright, so... Then it seems like they're not gonna pass, so either they're... So we're paddling the canoes along, and we see them, we're trying to like skirt around, like kind of give them a wide berth. And then, like, as we're starting to move out, they start swimming in our direction, because I assume that they're swimming in our direction. I guess we'll give them an insight check. Like, do they look hostile? Okay, so we literally do not know. Since that roll is so bad, I think it's going to be the opposite of whatever. We're going to interpret it incorrectly. So now we'll just ask the oracle question. Do they seem aggressive? I don't think they would be aggressive, because they're outnumbered and they're not that powerful of creatures. So I'm going to say -3 on the oracle roll. Yeah, okay. So they don't look aggressive. But somebody from our party is going to lose their nerve, and somebody's going to make an attack. There's 4 of us. I've got us lined up here at the top. So, somebody. Who's it gonna be? Ott. Okay. Ott, maybe Ott has some sort of like previous experience with them. Doesn't really know, has some sort of previous experience. Well, I mean, we all have previous experience of fighting things in boats while we're in the water. So, she probably just does not want them to get close and then tump us and then drag us down and drown us, right? That's probably where her mind goes to. Like, they haven't said anything, they're swimming right at us, even though we're trying to go around them. To her, that's like natural sort of like lizard brain alarm bells, right? She's like, no, 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 no. We gotta deal with this right now. Yeah, so she's gonna take a couple shots. Right enough. I don't think she's gonna have advantage, or disadvantage. So I think she's gonna just straight up do 2. Ba-ba-ba. Well, whatever the threat was, there's probably not gonna be a lot of it left. With two shots and 2 natural 20s. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for dropping in. Wow. Okay. Ott really did not want to deal with these people. Alright, so that is a D8 plus 3. So 2D8 plus 3 for 2 shots. How many hit points do these guys have? They can't have a lot of hit points, right? I can't imagine that they do. Yeah, they've got 32, I guess. That's not nothing. It's not nothing. So, yeah, alright. I don't know if she's going to even get one of them down, but... it's going to be pretty close, right? That's, so 29, 30, specifically 32 hit points. Like, literally right on the dot. Kills one. Alright, yeah. So, they start swimming up. Ott drops her oar. She pulls out her bow. She turns around. Pop! Pop! Poop! Poop! Right into the head. And one of them sinks back down. Alright, well, I guess that's going to be initiative. So these guys are going to go on... Oh, they're going to go on 9. Because they have a -1. Alright, let's go back up here. Alright, so we've got... So we go. These are our sea spawn. Alright. That's from the old fight. Nobody has cover anymore. We are sitting out in the middle of a lake. Alright, so let's roll some initiatives. So, we'll go for Ott first. Alright. Hot streak. That makes me worry about what's coming down the pike. If we're rolling a bunch of natural 20s right off the bat. Alright, 14 for Imbar, that's going to put her up here. I think at least she has a +1. Let's do another. Ooh, pretty good for Delg. And for Leah herself, she does have some sort of bonus, so everybody's going to go first. I believe she has a +2. And, right, we'll just put Igni here for right now. Probably not going to show up in this fight. We are already... This is probably well going to be taken care of. Well, you did it once. Let's do it again. Alright, I'm pretty sure both of those hit. They sure do. +6. 16 points. Ow. 16 of their 32. Spot. So 16 to 32, and who's going after her? Delg. Delg has a sling. He'll bring out his sling. Go, Delg, go. Alright, it's making me very wary. That's a lot of crits. That's a lot of crits. Way more than I ever roll. With actual dice. The dice gods are smiling on us after last time, getting our butt kicked up and down. Alright, so a total of 5 points of damage. They'll coming in with that clutch sling bullet right off the dome of this thing. So it gets punctured with arrows and a sling bullet. Imbar. I guess Imbar will take out her own bow and try to get a shot off. Oh, that's certainly going to hit. I believe she has a +2. Yeah, alright. So 4 points of damage. Slowly, but surely. And Leah herself is, I mean, she's going to do a firebolt, I think, at this point. Oh, yeah. That's for sure going to hit. For a whopping 3 points of fire damage. Right, I don't believe she has, anything to... No. Okay. So, 28. Alright, this thing's in bad form. This thing is going to make a morale check. I think it's probably going to bug out. In fact, I'm going to give it disadvantage on that because it's just gotten walloped with some... It got crit. Its friend got crit and killed just straight out. So I think this thing's quaking. So we're going to give it disadvantage on the roll, which is technically advantage because we're trying to roll under their charisma. So we're taking the higher. Yeah, didn't matter. Neither of those. This thing's going to bug out. So it goes bloop, underneath the water and takes off. Alright, well, that's going to be the end of that combat. There's no reason for us to go after that thing, and if that thing had any loot, the one that we killed, if it had any loot, it went to the bottom of the lake. And I don't think we're concerned with that. Well, that could have gone a lot worse. Could have gone a lot better, but it could have gone a lot worse. Alright, so that we finished that, our random encounter there. Do we see any point of interest? Let's see. Hold on. That might actually... No, 6 is never something. 6 is never something. No, nothing there. Ooh, let's roll for Gimbal. Is Gimbal gonna show up? No, we're good with Gimbal. Alright. Gimbal and his men are in the wind somewhere. We have no idea where they are. I'm sure will show up at some incredibly inopportune time to try and murder-late us very hard. That's it for right now. Alright. So that's 1. Should we stick close to the... I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's going to take us the same amount of... Let's maybe stay closer to the coast. Rather than going out on the open water. Alright, we moved into another one. Let's see. Come on, not a 1. Thank you. Not a 1. Any point of interest? Nope. Gimbal? No. And through the heavy rain. Alright, only 2. 2's not bad. 2's not bad. Could have been way worse. Alright. So as this rain continues to hammer down on us, we're starting to get tired. Right? Trying to pull through this choppy water. Alright, we've got at least 1 more in us. And then if we push, we can make it to Split Valley Oasis. Now, it might fatigue us, which would be not great. We really don't want that first level of exhaustion. It's going to make all our checks harder. But let's see how we do. I mean, we could always roll 2 1s. It could always happen. It probably won't, but it could happen. All right. Let's see. Let's do this first. We rolled a 2. Or sorry, a 3. We hit disadvantage. All right. So we're up to that. So we're feeling it now. We're feeling tired. Any sort of random encounter? No. Point of interest? No. Gimbal? No, but close. Alright, so that's where we are. So we're going to push in. We're going to have to push in Split Valley Oasis. Alright. Which means that we need to start doing our saves. Oh, that's not good. That is not good. So this is actually going to go up to 17, which means this threshold's now 17. So now we need to make an active Constitution save. Now, she's going to get advantage from the boat. But her con save is not great. That's not going to be enough. I don't even need to look at her sheet. 11 on the die is not going to pass. Alright. So everybody's exhausted. Yay! Hooray! Thanks, Rain. It's been fun. So I'm gonna go ahead. Where do I record that? I'll just put it down here. All right. Well, we didn't. We technically attacked them. So encounter with sea spawn. Ot shot first. Yeah, so the other one fled. We got exhaustion 1. Pushing to reach. Split Valley Oasis. Alright, so we're gonna roll into town. And hold on, let me see. It's been a minute since we've had to do this. What is the roll for when we get back to town? The D20. Get out of my way. Stupid microphone. Alright, 12. We need to roll the 12 first, not the 20. Okay. So, nothing of particular note is happening in town when we get there, which is fine. We're going to be the thing that's of note. We have to report a death. So when we roll up in the Split Valley Oasis, we are... Let's see if there's a random encounter, because there is a chance when we're showing up for the first time that something might be amiss for us. Alright, so nothing there. So we're good there. And obviously we don't need to look for a point of interest, we are in one. Alright, we need to go see the Reeve. I gotta go see a man about a dead man. Let's ask around. Can we find the Reeve? I expect that we can. I don't think that should be particularly hard. I'm gonna say +5 on that Oracle roll. Yeah, we can absolutely find the Reeve. And yeah, let's see. Is that gonna give us some sort of little edge? That's over 20. A new faction or NPC enters. Okay. I think that's probably the Reeve. Which somebody we actually haven't dealt with all that much. Or at all, actually. We've only been dealing with, yes, hit. Akari, sorry. So we haven't really dealt with him. Alright, so, have us a Reeve. Let's say... Give us a random name real quick. Relendart is the Reeve. So let's go ahead and make a note for that. So we're gonna go up here and meet Reeve Relendart. Alright, so that's gonna be a new NPC for us, so I'm gonna bold him just so we can remember to use him later. I'll make an NPC note for him later. Alright, so now we need to basically kind of persuade him about sort of like what's going on. We need to talk about it. So I think Leah steps forward, right? We have the testimonies and all the sort of evidence dossier, if you want to call it that, about what happened to Baronet Dren after he got killed by Norkruth. And now Norkruth's dead, right? So we don't have to worry about that. But we do need to sort of convince the Reeve that, like, hey, this is what happened. We're going to give our own personal testimony. Right? Each one of them is going to have to give testimony. To basically, since they were there, not implicate themselves, I think. But, I mean, we're not going to lie. So I think, let's do like a little mini, let's do like a little mini skill challenge. We rolled really well, so I think I'm going to give them advantage. I'm going to have, like, each one of them do a persuasion roll. So let's figure out a DC for what that's going to be. Oh, that's very good. It's going to be low. Alright, it's just a DC 10. I don't need these to be bold. Okay, so that's going to be our DC 10. So we'll just kind of go around. Everybody's going to kind of, obviously, right, we've already gone through all that because we already lived the events. So we don't really need to retell them for our own need. But basically we're going to be like, hey, we were there, we know about Norcruth. Norcruth is somebody who's tied to Gimbal. He's a slaver. It seems like he was here to exact some sort of revenge. Ended up killing this baronet to sort of, we assume, lay a trap for us. And to recapture... actually, do we leave any of the information about Rhymefire out? Here's a question. So here's an oracle question. Is Rhymefire noted in the Major Domo's report? No. Okay. Suspiciously absent. So I assume we probably had a read of this already. So we're not going to sort of mention that. We're going to sort of obfuscate that aspect of it, right? Occlude why they were there. Just that axe to grind. We'll just put that. We can probably talk about sort of our previous experiences with Norcruth and Gimbal, and dealing with the corrupted water myrmidon, which everybody in town should be very familiar with. All right, so let's just we'll just go down the list. So Ott first. Wow, another double natural 20 for Ott. Right, well, that'll work. So yeah, nat 20s, maybe. So all right, for Delg, another nat 20. Wow, over 20. So nat 20, nat 20. That leaves Imbar with a... Imbar's got a 0, so 19. And Leah herself. Yeah, 18, 19, 20. So not only were we successful, we pretty much annihilated that DC at every... That could barely have gotten any better. Like, mechanically. Like, as a numbers game, that could barely have gotten any better. I rolled 20, 20, 19, and 18. So, yeah. I even with the DC 10, I was like, that might be kind of iffy, but... The Google Dice Roller's on our side today, I guess. So... We're already kind of heroes of Split Valley Oasis. Like, we're known. Pretty well known here. So the question is, are we treated as we welcomed in as sort of heroes, I guess? I think that's probably extremely likely. +5. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we tell a riveting tale to the Reeve, Relndart, and he is just eating it up. He loves it. Stuff of legends. Great things. Does he... I'm going to say that he rewards us, because we rolled so well. And it's to reward us for previous actions, basically. Sort of a post-date reward. So I'm thinking that I kind of want some sort of reward that's not super tangible. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little Dream Oracle sheet where I've got my little quest stuff for patron rewards. Yeah, let's roll twice and sort of see where that gets us. Alright, 17 and 19. 17 is proven ready for the real task now. And 19 is is a hearty thank you, and you're always welcome in my home. Alright, well, the Reeve's probably not going to say, well, you're always welcome in our home. I don't think this is somebody of means that's really meant for somebody who doesn't really have anything to give. So, proven ready for the real task, though. What could the real task be? So, we've proven ourselves ready for the real task. This could be a good way to sort of maybe cap off our level 4 adventures, and before we jump into sort of like level 5 and a higher tier of adventure. So I like this. So should we go ahead and make up for the Oracle? I guess what I should do is I should probably take the stuff in this Oracle and add it to this document, so that way we can look at it at the same time. And we'll, actually, I'm just going to add that to my to-dos. So we'll add Oracle Sheet. Oracle Sheet info to this doc. Okay. So that way, hopefully we'll do that next time. Remember to do that in between. Alright, so what is the real task? So here's the question. Is the real task, let's do some clarification. Is it related to an adventure that we already have? No. Is it related to a faction or NPC we already know? No. Ooh. Actually, we have some leftover treasure. I know in this treasure we have something, right? So we have this map with directions to goblins for something. So we also have the Bounty Hunter Mage's contract. So that would be with somebody we already know, though. But we don't know anything about this goblin. Oh, before the goblins, let's ask about... So let me ask this. Is this the real task? Is this related to the waylaid wagons that we found when we were traveling back from Karjunton to Split Valley Oasis? Remember we came across those remains of a traveling caravan with a bunch of gazers that had attacked it, and we found a bunch of sort of like weird stuff, and we didn't really know what it was going to. We found them. They're a bunch of sort of like religious people, but they didn't seem to have a lot of sort of strong symbols with them as to like identification about like who they were and what they were doing out here. So it kind of seemed kind of clandestine, like maybe they were trying to hide something. Is it related to that? I think that's actually extremely likely, because that's something we would have heard, we kind of already know about, but don't know anything about other than that one incident. We don't know anything sort of tied to it. Is that the case? +5? Yes. Okay. Alright. Back up here. Boop. For the real task. Real task. Okay, which, now we know, is something to do with the waylaid caravans. Not, well, let me ask this. Does that also have something to do with the goblin map that we found? I think that's 50-50. It could be yes or no. Yes, okay. Alright, so it has to do with the waylaid caravans and the goblin map. So the goblin map goes to someplace. So we didn't know. So the directions are in goblin, which none of us could read. So we kind of show this to the Reeve. The Reeve's like, oh, well, I think you've proven yourselves to be incredibly useful adventurers. You're incredibly competent. You've been helping the community. We know that you're here for the good of the community and not to take advantage of us. So I think maybe you might be the people to help me out with this situation. There was a trade caravan that was supposed to come through, and actually, it was leaving Split Valley Oasis, right? That's why we wanted to ask them about it. They were leaving. It was leaving Split Valley Oasis. There was a trade caravan that left and got attacked and waylaid. And then we kind of be like, oh, well, actually, we saw that. Is that who you're talking about? And they're like, yes. Tell them about sort of the goblin map we found. Oh, interesting. Then we tell them about the gazer. Does the reef have any extra information about the gazer, and if that's related? I assume they're related. But does he have any information about it? 50-50? I don't really have any idea. No, okay, so he doesn't have any information about that. But he does know about sort of like goblin activity in the area, so we'll say that. Is there anybody in Split Valley Oasis that speaks Goblin that can sort of help us take care of this map? Does the Reeve know of anybody? I think it's likely he knows whether somebody can or cannot speak it. I don't know if there is anybody. So if there is somebody, he would know about it. So is there somebody who speaks Goblin? I think that's 50-50. Okay, yeah, so there is. Wait, nobody in our party speaks Goblin, right? Before I get... I don't think so, because I think I already checked that. Yeah. No. We don't. I'm pretty sure Omer does not speak Goblin either. I believe he speaks Draconic and... Primordial? I think as well. Like Leah. Which makes sense given the sort of like the nature of their background as characters as being researchers in sort of like the primordial origin of dragons. Where they speak those. Alright, well, let's just ask. Is it somebody we know in town? I don't think it is. Probably not. -3. No. Not at all. In fact, that's so low that I don't think they're in town. Okay, so it's somebody... So, we need somebody who speaks Goblin who can help us sort of, like, decipher the note that we have. And that's not somebody, we rolled so low, we know it's not somebody in here. But we do have a little isolated homestead over here. And then, is this one up here? That's Traveler's Inn. Isolated homestead, meeting place. Is it... Let's ask it... Let's maybe ask this. Is the person who speaks Goblin in an existing POI point of interest that we already know about? I think that's extremely likely. I don't think we need to add new ones to the book. Yes. Okay. Where do we want to go? It'd be funny if it was the Grung, but I don't think it would probably be the Grung. I kind of want to make it either the Traveler and up here. There's an isolated homestead way over there to the northwest. So I think there's... Or there's somebody who's maybe at this meeting place that we don't really know anything about. I mean, there's 3 options. Well, let's just go 1, 2, 3, right? 2. Okay. Alright. So basically, as we're talking about it, we're like, oh, well, we have this, and we might be related. But, we can't read it. Can you read it? Real Nerd's like, no, I don't. Looks like Goblin to me. And they go, that makes sense, right? We're pretty sure it's Goblin. Already. Thank you, Reeve. So, well, the only person I know who might be able to take care of that, well, probably the best place to find them would be this Traveler's Inn. That's, north of us. North of Split Valley Oasis. Sort of on the road. Here we go. Let's, we've got a D100 sort of chart for some NPCs. Just kind of random NPCs. And try to figure out who that is. Maybe 30. Okay. Probably not bad. That'd be a noble. Ooh, a noble. Related to Dren, perhaps? Let's say, if it's not related to Dren, then I don't think we're going to choose a noble. We'll choose something else. Just because we just dealt with some noble stuff. Just, you know, mix it up a little bit. It's my game. I can do whatever I want. So, is it related to Dren? I don't think so. -3. Yeah, alright. Yeah. So yeah, I think he's like, well, there's actually a little bit of serendipity. Now that you say that, Dren actually has a sibling who kind of lives out to the north. The north, we know can speak Goblin. Oh, okay. So he's like, I think Realmdart's like, look, probably gonna have to have him summoned here anyways, and figure out what's gonna happen to Dren's keep. I assume it will probably pass to his sibling. So, I mean, if I can impress on you to go and just give them a summons anyways, I'll write out summons real quick. Have them summoned here to sort of take care of the legal proceedings. They can probably give you some information about the Goblin too. I think they agree to that, so I think these are going to be kind of two separate adventures, right? So it's kind of a part 1, part 2. So A, deliver, let's say, Reeve summons. Summons to Dren's sibling. You know what? I just remembered. We have disadvantage on skill checks because we're exhausted. I don't think that would have changed anything. The DC was so low, and I think we passed on every die roll anyways. But I need to keep that in mind. Help me keep that in mind. Is he going to give us some sort? Yeah, I mean, Realmdart's pretty well enamored with us, I feel like. So yeah, I think he's gonna provide us some sort of reward. Deliver summons to Dren's sibling. That's probably the more important thing. That's very simple, but what does he want to offer us? Does he want to offer us? Is there anything that we want? I think it'd probably. Well, let's ask. Does he ask us what we want? I think that's likely. Yes. Okay. All right. Is there anything that we want? Because what jumps to my mind is getting the corrupted. One of the corrupted plate armors fixed and resized for Imbar to wear. I think that would be really cool. So let's do that. I think we'll put that forward as that would still be a really, really expensive reward, but it's not cash. So I think I'm gonna give her a charisma check, a persuasion, try to persuade him from this. 14, 15, 16. All right, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's a DC 11. Okay, yeah. So he's like, "Oh, that's expensive, but I think you and your group have proved you're worth it." I think Imbar's pretty psyched about that. So we'll have a corrupted. And fitted for Inbar. War. Is there anything that we want? Well, for dealing with the, because I don't think Realmdart really even understands. Is he asking them to eradicate goblins? Is that technically what he's asking them to do? Yes, okay. Eliminate Goblin Camp, I guess. And what is going to be our reward for that? That's a much bigger ask. A is a much more important ask as far as the realm's concerned, and sort of his duties as Reeve. But B is a more taxing request of the adventurers. What do we think kind of tells us? What would be... Well, I guess he's the quest giver, so... Let's just see what he offers us. Let's roll those d20s again. 13 and 5. Alright, so 13 is some sort of permanent boon or enhancement. Interesting. And 5. Some sort of magic item or component. Either one of these would be actually quite good. I feel like it's more likely to be a magic item. We've got 4 people here, so let's choose something that would be useful for one of them. We got 4, so let's just roll a d4. Alright, something that would be useful for Ott. That makes me think bow first, right? She could use a nice bow. Some sort of magic bow, maybe? Question mark? No. Spear? No. Some other sort of weapon? No. Armor? No. Alright, here's where all the low rolls were, apparently. That's fine, let's get it out here. So that kind of takes care of weapons. This was supposed to be... So let's roll on the magic item table then. Maybe that'll give us a much clearer answer. D20, we are still in magic tier 1, so it's probably going to be a common item, but let's see. Nope, actually it's uncommon. No, wait. Look at the wrong side. It is a common item. Alright. Common item, is it... Hold on. One moment, please. Oops. Fix that in just a second. Roll a d10. Alright, some sort of single-use item. So I'm thinking a potion. If it's something she doesn't need somebody's help with, like a spell scroll. Let's just check out Donjon. Let's see what kind of comes up. We're looking at 5e. We are looking at magic items. We want we need a common. We're looking at potions. We're looking at scrolls. We're looking at wondrous items. So what would be useful for Ott? Yeah, I guess a potion of healing. That seems like such a low bar for what we're asking for, but that is an incredibly useful one. We don't have any. Oh, the mystery key. We could do a mystery key. Let's do a mystery key. Because we don't really have anybody who does a lot of sort of like lockpicking stuff. That's not really it's kind of a weakness that we have in our party right now. So maybe the mystery key will help us out. So I like that idea. So let's use the mystery key. We're... Like I said, Rellendar's pretty enamored with us. So can we get away? Will he, Can we... I think that's more of a persuasion. Can we persuade him to pay us up front if it's a useful item, right? We kind of tell him that, yeah, that sounds like a really useful item. You know, if we come across anything that we can't open, maybe this could really help us. That could really help us out in a really clutch situation. So would have advantage, I feel like, on this, but instead, like I said, we have disadvantage because our ability exhaustion 1. So just a straight roll. Come on, big money, no whammies. That's low money. That's little money. That's not. That's a 5. Technically could, you know. He's like, no, I'm not giving it to you beforehand. Yep. Perfectly respectable. Thank you very much for your time. Mr. Key asks for one. Alright. He's like, yeah, no, I'm already spending like a lot more money on this plate armor than this magic key. So, no. He's like, you can keep whatever you find in the cave. I assume they're in a cave. That's goblins of caves, right? Chocolate and peanut butter to go together. Sweet and salty. Alright. So, sort of mission accomplished from that end, at least. So, we need to travel north. And we already know where this point of interest is. Like, they give us really good, so we don't have to go, like, exploring for it. We don't have to, like, hit the box and look around in there. Like, this is a known place that we're going to. Can the Riva put us up for the night, maybe? Yeah, I'll make another persuasion check, but... yeah, it's a 10. Oh no, we just missed it. The DC was 11. This is why we don't want exhaustion. Even level 1. No, I'm not putting you up for the night. Alright, perfect. Understood. Alright. We'll put that... we kind of assume that everybody kind of has basic money to take care of themselves. But I think we want to... let's rest tonight. So she'll pay... because I think we want to get our... we have some stuff to sell before we leave. But I want to do that when we don't have disadvantage on ability checks like persuasion. So perhaps we can get a little bit more money out of it. So we're going to pay. We're going to sleep for the evening. No. There is an inn, or caravanserai, sorry, that we can stay at. We know that there's one of those in town that we stayed in at the very beginning of the campaign with Ott and Leah. How much is that going to cost us? I think we said it was middle last time, so 1d6, so it's something like a 5. Alright, so four gold pieces. Pretty expensive for the stay, but we've got the money. We can pay for it. Like I said, I kind of assume that everybody kind of has their own walking around change. For the most part. To pay for the sidekicks to pay for basic things like staying in an inn. So I'm just kind of worried about her stay. Alright. So we're gonna take that. We're gonna rest in town. So, question is, does something happen overnight? I think we should probably make 2 rolls. For random encounters stuff that happens. So nothing there. Nothing there. Alright, so the night passes peacefully. So we have a new day. It is Spring Crown 61? Wait, hold on. Yeah, look at my calendar. Yeah, 61. Which is about May 17th. And right now it is... that heavy rain has gone away. Thankfully. And we should be healed of our exhaustion, so we don't need to worry about that. What am I looking for? And let's go down here to our hex roll operations. There. Nothing there. And so it's no longer heavy raining, it's just light rain, so we don't need to worry about that too much. We do still have Akari's boat, so we're going to need to take care of, but... oh, we did not roll for Gimbal. We should roll something for Gimbal. Okay, nothing with Gimbal happens. So morning, Everybody comes up, they're nice and rested. Wait for the market to open. Let's go sell some stuff at market, just in case. Yeah, there's some sort of event. Bum, bum, bum. All right, so there is some sort of event while we head into the market. So some sort of, this can be urban dressing technically, since we're in the city, instead of wilderness dressing. So just something we kind of jump across. Do that. I don't remember if I put it in the front or in the back. Alright. 2d20. 2 and 9. Ooh. Either one of those is good. So, number 2 is somebody running a 3-card Monte scheme in the market. And 9 is the crowd cheering or jeering at a VIP personage. Which could be us, technically. So I like either one of those. Let's go with the latter though. Is it us they're talking about? Yep. Okay. They're cheering? I assume so. I don't know why they would jeer us. So +3? Are they cheering for us? Oh no, they're not. They are jeering us. So we're walking around. They're like, "Boo! You guys suck." Interesting. All right, so we are being accosted. Can we discern? This is more of an insight check, I guess. Can we discern at all why these people are not happy with us? I mean, Relendart was pretty gung-ho about us. So, is his attitude different than the rest of the town for some reason? Like, what's going on with that? So, we'll make an insight check. That's a pretty bad insight check. Yep, that's a very bad insight check. Alright, so this has blindsided us. So, let's just add our stuff up here. It's hot. To market in the morning. Jeered by the crowd. For unknown reason. We're trying to sell things. Are the merchants willing to deal with us? I think that's 50-50 now. No, the merchants are not willing to deal with us. Can we at least get one to talk to us? Let's try to persuade it up. At least get one to sort of like tell us what's going on. 10. Probably not. Oh, actually that's quite low. That's a 7. Alright, so we do get them to sort of tell us like what's going on. Is it... So the thing that jumped to my mind, is it aught? Because we just sort of brought back news about these sort of like giant hyena attacks. That was probably part of it as well. And gnoll raiders that we know are out and about. Is it because of aught in our association with her? I think that's actually kind of likely, so +3. Yeah, okay. And recent gnoll raids. So we realized that, yeah, maybe this isn't a super warming community for us right now. Like, I think... Which makes sense why Relendar was like, yeah, I know that you guys are fine, you deal with this and stuff, but we brought in news. Do we try to address the crowd? Lee's not a particularly charismatic person. I mean, well, she is. But, I don't know if she sticks her head out for this. I'm going to make this more of a... she also doesn't have very good wisdom, though. So, let's just roll. Does she address the crowd? Does she address the crowd, like, head on? I think that's 50-50, because, like I said, she's sort of charismatic, but... I don't think she sees it as important, but we do want to sell some things, and... Okay, let's see. Does she... How upset about this does she get? Okay, so pretty upset. So she finds a box, and she jumps up on it. She starts to address the crowd. So she's like, listen to me. Look, I know that you don't like the way that our companion looks, but she is a skilled she's a skilled tracker. She helped free this village from the crazed water elemental that was destroying all your work and, you know, attacking the people around your town, putting your very livelihoods in danger. We're the ones that solved that. We're the ones that got rid of the slavers outside your village. You know, we're the ones who defended Baronet Dren's honor, that brought back news of his demise and protected the realm in his absence, that killed the people who killed him. Like, we're honorable people, and first among those people is my companion Ott. And if any of you have a poor thing to say about her, you can take it up with me. And that's kind of the end of it, I guess. I think she probably dares somebody to step forward. Does somebody step? Well, let's make her. She's bombastic. This is. I think this is more of an intimidation check. Well, this is persuasion or intimidation. I'd say it's flavored probably with whichever she's better at, which I don't think it's either. So it really does not matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter in the slightest. She has a +2 to it, though. All right, let's make her around. Is she able to sort of mollify this crowd? No. Okay. Does the crowd sour on them? Do they? Maybe. Yeah. Okay. Oh God. All right. Do they run them out of town? They straight up run them out of town? I don't think that's likely, but so -3, but it's possible. They do. Okay. They run them out on a rail. All right. Well. So Leah makes an impassioned speech about Ott. Cannot sway the crowd. Loses the room, the metaphorical room, and the party is rushed out of town by a growing mob. All right, I guess we're traveling. I guess that's what we'll do. All right, let's make a Constitution saves for the day. Let's figure out what that threshold's gonna be. Well, we left the boats there, so we're gonna have to go back for those boats. Those are, well, I guess no, we don't. They're not Akaris. They're technically gimbals. All right, what is her plus to? That's not great. It's 12. All right. I guess technically we do have advantage. We would have taken our mule with us, right? But we didn't get to buy any supplies. Ugh, that's rough. So 15. All right. Guess we should have bought those. We should have bought the supplies the night before and sold stuff. I didn't think that was gonna happen, but it is what it is. Speaking of which, I need to roll a. I believe it is a. Where are we at with Odd? Oh no, she's down to a D4. She used arrows in that combat. Did she lose any? Oh no. Oh no. She has technically 1 arrow left. We're actually going to swap these, so I'm going to swap her arrows for Imbar, and Imbar will have 1 arrow because she's much more of a melee fighter. So they swap arrows out, but they're like, we don't have any arrows. We really need to do shopping. We got run out of town. How does Ott react to this? I think this is something that Ott has probably come up against many times sort of in her life as sort of a professional adventurer who's, you know, a 7-foot hyena lady. Is she angry about it? Yeah. I think she's probably just frustrated though. I don't think it's painful for her. Well, as much as... maybe it is. Yeah. Maybe Ott's not feeling up about herself. I think she and Imbar sort of have a moment as they're sort of exchanging arrows. And Imbar try to cheer her up a little bit. Does she cheer her up? No, not really. Like, Ott just kind of barks at her. Pushes her away. Kind of isolate, not maybe the greatest mental thing to do, but it is what it is. She's probably very used to being on her own and dealing with her own problems. She's probably as upset about that, as upset about what happened as the end result, which is that they didn't get to do what the things they needed to do, and that's maybe going to put them in a more of a life and death situation. So, yeah. Alright. Alright, well, that is what it is. Alright, so they kind of pushed us out, so I guess we're gonna head northward ho. Right, we're trying to get all the way up here. So we know that this is Traveler Inn. This is supposedly got Dren Sibley. Oh, hey, how are you doing? Yeah, we are getting kicked out of Split Valley Oasis is what's happening right now, and so we didn't get to sell things like we wanted to, but we are going to start heading northward towards this Traveler's Inn, which has somebody who speaks Goblin in it, which we need, and we also need to talk to this person anyway. Anyways, I'm just going to put this down here, speaks Goblin. That is what we're doing. Why don't I use a VTT? It's just not, it's not useful for this style of game for me, myself, and I. There's just not enough reason to set it up. I did look at using something like Owlbear Rodeo that's very, very simple to do on the fly, but since none of the encounters are sort of like constructed, it's just not useful. I would spend more time messing with the VTT than I would actually playing the game. So that's why I don't end up using a VTT for this sort of solo stuff. And most of the combats are very small and fast anyways. As seen earlier with our C-Spawn encounter. It's like less than 1 round and it's pretty much done. So we're going to head into this hex, and that's Norcrew's old camp. So before we start running off and I start moving in that direction, I'm going to take a quick bio break. I'll be back in just a little bit. We will get this figured out and we'll see how far we get. I'm not sure we're going to get all the way up to the inn. That would be nice, but who knows. But I will be back in just a few minutes. All right, I'll see you guys in just a second. Bye. All right, let's go ahead and hop back in. Before we do that, is there anything we need to talk about? Obviously, if you like the stream, make sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, check out all the stuff. We have a bunch of, in addition to the solo RPG stuff, we do a bunch of other D&D and tabletop RPG related content, so check that out. Check out the blog, redragonfiend.com, for more like in-depth article kind of stuff if you want to figure out more DM stuff, mostly DM stuff. We have some player-facing stuff over there as well, but go check it out. If you want to support the channel, sharing's always helpful. On, social media, Reddit, your favorite sort of RPG forum, whether that's Ian World or wherever. You can check out the Drive-Thru RPG store. We've got some pay-what-you-want titles. You can download some of that stuff. And if you can also head over to Ko-fi, that's ko-fi.com/ Red Ragged Fiend, and you can, drop me $1 or two if you can, if you want to. If not, that's fine. You can also give a follow and check out that stuff that's coming down the pike there. So let's go ahead and hop back in. Alright. So we got kicked out of town. We're headed north. We're into Norcru's old slaver camp. Is there anybody there? Is a good question. I don't know. Norcru kind of went into a bit of a spiral. Let me go ahead and bring up the screen. Boop, there we go. So, Norcru kind of went through a spiral before he died, right? I mean, we killed him. So, actually, before we do that, I wanted to add down here. So we rested overnight. We run out of town to hate for /gnoll raiding. Alright. So I do want to make sure that I have that down so I can remember that later when I'm looking back at the notes. Alright, well, I mean, they kind of pushed us out. We really needed to buy some supplies. That was not great for us. And that is always something that can happen when you have technically a monster in your party, right? We have our big gnoll lady, gnoll hunter. And yeah, that did not help us. But so we're forced on this sort of expedition again. So let's roll our d4. Moving in there. Uh-oh, not off to a good start. Alright. Well, that's not good. Anything from Gimbal? Probably not. No. Gimbal must have moved on because we have not seen or heard anything from him. Where's people? Is there any... Now, we know there's a point of interest here. So, we know the old Norcru's old slaver camp is here. Is there anybody actually here? I don't think so. I think all that probably would have dissolved long before, basically when Norcru lost his engagement with Gimbal. So I don't think. Oh no, there is definitely something here. Oh no, is it a bunch of the afflicted people? No, no. So it's not the afflicted, it's not the sick. Is it Norcru's group? I guess +3. That seems likely. Okay. It's not them either. Alright, is it some faction or NPC we know? Absolutely not. So, somebody completely new. So let's just roll on the NPCs. Let's find out who this person is. Or people are, I guess, technically. Could be more than one. So, first time, so we're running in there. We see the old Norcru's old slaver encampment set up. And all those people seem to be gone, but somebody else seems to be here. Well, probably not that. I don't really like that. 51 is a sort of like folk healer or barber surgeon, thing like that. So, not that, but the other 51 that we have could be labor for hire. So it could be a bunch of people like down on their luck, sort of general laborers looking for something to do. So let me ask that. Is this sort of like unskilled labor? So this could be like a... Or, let's clarify that. Is this like a shanty, turned into like a weird shanty town? I think that's more likely, so +3 for sure. No. Okay. Well... Dice, what do you want from me? What do you want from me, Dice? No, thanks. Yeah, I don't know. This could be. Yeah. I'm glad you were able to catch live stream. That's fine. Join in on it. I don't know. This could be. It seems like an NPC. It could be a monster. I guess that's true. So it's not. It's not that. That's a good. That is a good point, chat. It could absolutely be a monster. Is it a monster? No. Okay. Well, Alright, so it's an NPC of some form. It's some sort of general labor, or some sort of labor, so it's not like a shanty town. Are these just people who are camped here? Like travelers who are using the camp? That's actually quite likely. They're just previous people who just found the camp and they're like, oh, well, we'll camp here. Yeah, okay. So we find a bunch of people who are camped here. So we're gonna put this. Clear question. Question we want to know. The people who are here. We said they're you know, laborers for hire. Is there anybody that we can buy and sell, like people who are looking to do trade, maybe? Travelers, so I think that's kind of likely. So +3? Fingers crossed? 11's just going to get us in there. So yes. So we did meet, so we are going to meet some people who are willing to trade. Some sort of traveler. Sort of traveling group. Let's do that. So, all right. So we're gonna let's do that. So we find travelers using Norcruise Soul Camp. Now we did roll 11, so I do want to be beholden to that. Is that technically something should interrupt this scene? As we're having that, we're coming upon them and starting to maybe have a conversation with them. Is that technically something should happen? Some sort of interrupt should happen. What is our interrupt? Alright. Let's roll a d20. Let's kind of figure out what this is going to be. Alright, well that's some sort of extraordinary trap or trick. To bribe, buy, or recruit. Sorry, I'm just thinking. So that was 13, so that would be location, some sort of ordinary location. So some sort of a trick or trap, that makes me think magical, some sort of magic that's going on here. That is specifically bribing, buying, or recruiting. Oh no, is this... This could be some other slaver. Is this some other sort of slaver, somebody who's sort of taken over Norcruise camp and maybe we didn't think it was the slavers, right? We thought it was somebody else, but it could actually be them. Sort of in this glamour. Maybe there's sort of like a soothing element to it. No, okay, good. That would be really bad, actually. I'm just trying to think of what the extraordinary element of it is. Because I think it could just be people who are trying to grab business away from Split Valley Oasis, trying to make a quick buck, which makes sense to me. That does make sense. Maybe an ambush by people, that's a good... Victims or ambushers, yeah. But these are specifically people who are looking to do some sort of work. We know that. Well, I don't want to rabbit hole this too much. And so, none of that interrupt really makes sense, so I'm just going to kind of drop it. Which is usually what you do when you're doing a solo RPG thing like this, and you come across something, and it's kind of hard to make the pieces kind of fit. You just kind of, I don't want to get hung up on that, right? The idea is to kind of keep the momentum going. So, nothing really manifested of that was super easy to tie in based off of what we rolled, so I think it's just going to be some people looking to trade, in addition to just kind of looking for work overall, it seems like. So let's sell some things. Well, first, are they open to us because of the whole Ott situation? So will they trade with us is really the question. So -3, actually. Okay. Whew. So, yes. That's still a 17, so the answer's still yes. So they're maybe a little bit wary because we do have a gnoll with us. And there have been gnoll attacks in the area, obviously. we've dealt with them. But people are kind of wary of it for sure. So we are going to do that. Alright, but we do have some stuff. So let's get rid of some stuff and hopefully buy some things. So I think we're going to... So we're doing this one. This is the one that we left behind. We left behind this rusted plate armor. That's the one that we left behind. We do have this corrupted Myrmidon armor. Can anybody deal with that? I think that's extremely unlikely. -5. Yeah. Of course, nobody's going to be able to deal with that. Does somebody here know Goblin? I think that's also extremely unlikely. But yeah, no. Is somebody willing to trade our Karjunton-bound? So let's make a charisma roll. Charisma check. Oh, that's really good. That's 21. So that will almost certainly pass. Yeah, it does. That is a whopping 9 for a DC. So I'm going to roll... I think that's... We kind of go 50% plus maybe some extra. So 5 plus... I guess... 1d4. Alright, well they're willing to sell it to us for 9 gold. I'll take 9 gold. For that banknote, that's really only a... They're going to make 10% off of that. That's... Seems... I feel like they probably could have gotten more for that, but... Just following the dice. Alright. We'll increase our gold a little bit. That goes away. We sell some of this other stuff. Let's, how do I want to do that? Let's do, let's make a secondary charisma roll that I think is just going to be sort of an overall roll. For just kind of selling off the rest of this stuff, which is not a lot. Of course, we roll incredibly poorly. Alright, so we're going to get less than half back. Ugh, we're going to get 17%. Ugh. Alright, well, I probably should have left that up. Here, let's do this. So I remember. We're only going to get 17% of whatever we have. Which is, you know, not a lot. So this Bone Throne is probably going to give us like 15 copper. Great. Just kind of go down the list. So, like, 29 copper. Cash was stuff we already had, so let's just go ahead and add that in. So, 52. Oh, sorry. Those are actually platinum pieces. Actually, I have 4 of those. Nice. And 11 copper coins. So, don't have to deal with that. Let's say like 8 copper coins. Then we'll do like 10 for the old nut pouch. So yeah, we're not getting rich by any means, but we are getting rid of stuff. Like what? 5, maybe. So that would be 63. The tobacco pouch. That mage's contract's not really worth anything to us. And we'll just say 1 silver for the perfume bottle. We could sell the Dust of Dryness. I don't know how useful that's going to be for us. But let's hold... It is a magic item, so let's hold on to it for right now. So, we'll just do these 2 together. The 5 silver. And so, like... I don't know. Let's go, like... Let's just make it a full 70. We'll just do that. And then we'll get, the gold and a few silver. For the dubious jerky. And we'll just go ahead and make that an even 40. Which may or may not be people. We're not going to tell them about that. they can figure that out on their own. Can we... So they bought some stuff for us. Can we... But will they also have anything for us to buy? Primarily, can we buy arrows from them? I didn't say if there was any likelihood. Was there any likelihood of that? I didn't say so, so no. Alright, so they don't have any arrows. Do we need any supplies? I don't think so. I mean, we could take some rations. Do they have any rations? We could load up on some rations. They do. That would make us to D8. Yeah, 4 gold. Sure, I'll pay 4 gold to get our rations back up to 8. So we'll do that. Load that up on the mule. Got the 45 gold. Unless they want to buy the Horn of Silent Alarm. Do they even have the cash for something like that? Probably not. Then 12. The Horn of Silent Alarm, I believe, is... Well, I can just look. It's a common item. Which would give us... It's a common permanent item, though. It's worth about 80 gold. We did flub our roll, though. It's gonna be whatever... What's that? 17% of 40? I don't know what that's gonna be off the top of my head. Yeah, alright. Let's round up and do 7 gold. So we will, we'll round up, we'll do 7 gold. No, I need Leah. So we'll go up to 52 gold, but we will lose the Horn of Silent Alarm, which we really haven't used at all. We've had it for a long time, and I don't think we've... I think maybe we used it once? Or not at all. One of those two. We either used it once or not at all. But that's alright. We'll just keep on plowing forward. Alright, but thankfully we got to some things. We didn't get arrows, which is the one thing we needed, though. We really needed arrows. So that's the way the cookie crumbles. Alright, so we made some trades. We'll do that. Let's go up to... some trading. But they had no arrows. Frowny face. No arrows. We really needed them, but they didn't have them. What are you gonna do? Alright, well, I guess we'll keep moseying on then. Let's roll for these guys. Let me take this off. So we did have some travelers here. But what is going on in these two adjacent hexes? We'll just roll for that real quick. Alright, that's going to be exactly the same. And that is going to be... We can take this off. And 10. Which is going to be 2 dry. Boom. So a desert tile. So we're just kind of filling in the biomes of this. Right, so that's going to be a desert. And... Right, well, we definitely don't want to move into the desert if we can avoid it, which we can. So we're going to go around. Let's move up here. We're just going to keep moving. Technically, I should roll again because we did spend some time in that last hex. That would have taken us time as well. Alright, so we'll add 4 more. And we should also roll for other stuff that happens. So did Gimbal do anything during that? Does he do anything when we go to this one? No. Alright. Any sort of random encounter? No. Good. Any sort of point of interest? Hopefully not. No. Alright. So things are smooth sailing into this next one, but we do need to figure out what's in those next hexes. Coming up. Alright. More of the same. And more of the same. Perfect. Yeah. Well, let's keep trucking. Maybe we'll get there. It'd be nice to get there, but I also don't want to get there. I also don't want to get there again with exhaustion. Because if we get there, all our skill rolls are going to be really garbage, all our ability checks. And especially on the Taki-Taki, we're not so great at that. Or things like perception and insight. Leah's social skills are not great, in general. She has a natural charisma, but she does not have any sort of training in it, so it doesn't tend to go super well for us. Or at least it hasn't historically. Alright, well, we're here, so we need to move on. Alright, 2. It's going to put us up to 10 on the progression track. Alright, any sort of nasties? Nope. Any sort of gimbal nasties? Also no. Good. Any sort of point of interest we stumble across? Ooh. Technically no. Right? Yeah, technically no. Alright, so we don't come across anything unless we stop to look for it, which we don't because we're trying to get someplace. Now, we could roll a 1. That would be ideal. As we move into the next hex. The likelihood of that happening is 1 in 4. So 25%. So it's not great in our favor. But let's find out what the next hexes are. Oh, there's a water hex. Here. Boop. Little lake there. Ooh, and a 5, which is slightly more verdant. So then this is going to be little plains right here. Alright, well we didn't bring the boats with us, so probably not going through the water. Kind of got ran out of town, not that we would have brought the boats with us anyways. But we're going to move here. Alright, that's the move. Come on, 1. That's the opposite of what we need. That's +4. That makes things much harder for us. Alright. Up to 14. That's not great. Any gimbals? No gimbals. Any encounters? Some sort of wilderness dressing is going to happen, and we are in the plains. What do we run across? Here we go. What we're gonna run across? So we're walking around. We run across a solitary hut. This could be a good place to stay. It could give us shelter for the night. We don't know. It could be abandoned though. Could be anything. Could be in there. We're just kind of walking across the plain, and then kind of in the middle of nowhere, there's sort of like a dugout house. Sort of like turf house that's been sort of hobbit hole-ish, kind of pushed into the ground. Alright. What do we think? I think we kind of draw up, maybe find some cover. Is there some sort of like cover we can find to obscure us? Nope, absolutely not. We are in an absolutely open field. So I think they just stop, they kind of like take a knee. I don't think we have a spyglass, do we? No. Alright. What do you see with your elven eyes? Somebody's got pretty decent perception, though. I think probably Ott. I think Ott's the one with the best perception. Imbar's got a +2. Ott has +3. And Leah has a +1. Alright, so we'll let Ott do it. And I'll give her advantage, right? We have a bunch of people all basically doing the same thing. She's all looking. So +3. That's pretty good. That's 21. That beat the DC? Probably. Yeah, absolutely. That's a DC of 9. Absolutely. Or, sorry. DC of 14. We absolutely can tell. But do we see anything? Do we actually see anything? Probably not. Maybe something. So, does it look like... So, it looks like it's occupied. This is sort of a frontier, so I'm going to give it sort of a 2-2-2. Oh, okay. So it's occupied by something, but it doesn't seem humanoid in nature. What else do we got here? I rolled a 12. Ah! Rolled a 12. Some sort of fey. Something vaguely fey. Interesting. When we come across a... completed hut, the fey presence. We rolled pretty well, so can we? I'm gonna give her. I think together we're gonna give Leah an Arcana check because I think that makes the most sense for fey dealings. If she can recognize what these things are, that's pretty good. 13 plus 5. Okay, so 18. Does that beat the DC, hopefully? Yeah, that's a DC 12. Alright. Alright, so we see specifically what's here. So let's figure out what that is. Let's go Kobold Fight Club, and let's look for something that's... I'm more worried about it being fey than I am really about where it shows up. Let's do a fey. So it could be some darklings. I can't remember what the mean lock looks like. Those are kind of nifty creatures. Let's use the mean locks. Why not? All right, so there could be up to 3 of them here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Of course, there's 3. Of course, there would be. All right. I don't know anything about mean locks, so let's look at their stat block real fast. She knows what these are, so. Do they speak any language? They have telepathy. So interesting. They do have light sensitivity. So probably see them like huddled up. They're like inside the house. I think everybody is in pretty good spirits. We did have an extended rest. I haven't done that. We should do that. We did sleep overnight. So technically everybody should get all of their stuff back. I just have not done that, so let me do that. So they're going to get those hit points back, Inbar's back up to 39 health, because I think they're going to assault this place is what I think is going to happen. Because I think they want this place to hole up for rest. Is that maybe super heroic to just run in and kill things that we consider monsters? Maybe, maybe not. But the needs must, and they are in the middle of some place, and I think the idea is that if these are pretty evil creatures, right? I think they would have the idea that, like, if they waited till night, they know these things have light sensitivity and they're really good in the dark. So they figure that if they don't deal with them now when they have the advantage, those things might come back and get them while they're asleep. Which is fairly pragmatic, I admit. But Leah's kind of a pragmatic person in general. And of course she will get her spell slots back, except for the one that she uses to cast mage armor on herself every day. And she's going to get at least 1 magic missile cast back. Alright. No, she's got 27 hit points. Okay. Everything's good. So, do we want to try to make an assault? If we can get them to come out, so we know if we can get them to come out, because I think they're huddled up inside, like very sort of like a Omega Man, I Am Legend. That's what I was thinking of, the Will Smith movie version of it, where it's sort of like zombie Dracula kind of things, where they're sort of like hide in the darkness during the day. Kingdom zombies are like that too. So I think that's sort of the situation we have, that they're hiding. They've taken up the only shelter, right? We said it was an open plain, so this was the only place they could sort of hide during the day. So I think that we're gonna roll up on them, and I think we're gonna try to lure them out by attacking from a distance and try to draw them out into the light, if possible. by sort of sitting back and poking at them from probably the edge of their range, which is like 120, right? Or longbow range is 90? Maybe 60. I do not remember what the range for longbows are off the top of my head. But that's the plan. That's gonna be the plan anyways. So let's pull them up. Alright, so we're gonna put they have a whopping dexterity of +2, so they have 12. And these guys have how much health? 31. 31, 31, 31. There we go. No problem. So yeah, we'll roll initiative. I think they're gonna get a surprise round. We'll give them a stealth check, a group stealth check, but let's do the initiative first. For Ott. All right. Well, Ott kind of blew that one up. That could have been better. For Delg. Alright. Somehow worse. So maybe they've also noticed us. Well, Imbar has a +2, I believe. As at 09. We're not doing so great on the initiatives. This must be the swing back of all those 20s early on. And an 11 for Leah, which actually will put her above them. She has a +2. So we'll give them a group sneak, but I'm just gonna go ahead and give it the flavor that, considering how poorly we rolled on initiative, that we're gonna have disadvantage on this, or we would. No, we're just gonna have disadvantage. Yeah, okay. So, not stealthy at all. I mean, there's like a handful of smudges standing across a perfectly blank plain. Like, so there's nothing to hide behind. There's no concealment. There's no nothing. They're just standing out in the open. I think these things are sort of chittering inside, so we can kind of see their shadowy forms. We can see enough of them to figure out what they are. So we have to be pretty close. Let's look at the range for... I just need to know the range, because I don't know it off the top of my head. 150. Alright, yeah. So we'll say that they're at 120, because why would they get any closer? You've got two people with bows. I mean, technically Delg can't really do anything at 120. I think that's outside the long range of his sling, but... what are you going to do? And they're going to have to charge us, probably. Or else we're going to... I mean, they could take full cover, I guess. We'll see. Alright, so we'll start this off with Leah. She's going to make an attack. How much cover do we think they have? They're inside a building, so probably quite a bit of cover. So I'll go ahead and give them the +5 to AC. I'm going to say they have like 3/4 cover. We can see them through some tiny, like, broken shuttered windows. And probably through an open door, because that's how they got in, I assume. Since they don't have hands. They got claws. The claws. Give them the clamps. Alright. So... Leah's up first. She's going to firebolt one of them. They got that +5, they got a 20 AC. So that's a miss for her. After seeing how tight it is, and we're not going to have any sort of sneak advantage, right? Do we want to storm? Move closer and just kind of storm the building? Especially considering our limited ammo. If we didn't have limited ammo, right? If we had actually been able to buy some freaking arrows, I would just sit out here and pot-shot them, and then this really wouldn't be much of an encounter. But that is a resource that we have, and we don't know when we're going to get more. Do we want to waste it on this fight? Probably not. So I think Ott will sit back, because she's still better with the bow. She's going to fire at least... She's going to take at least one attack with it. Because she can always take one attack for free. Well, they can all take one attack for free. So let's do that. Everybody will take one attack. Alright. Well, Ott is definitely going to hit. So she'll do 7 points. And then Imbar's going to take a shot. She won't miss, though. Well, actually, She has a bunch of bonuses. Oh, that's only a 19. She's one shy. Dang. Alright, well, one of them took 7 points of damage, so I was able to plug one of them. And so I use sort of like the Gamma World, the old Gamma World style, because you get guns with limited ammunition in it, and the idea is that if you shoot more than one piece of ammunition in an encounter, then you're considered to be not conserving ammunition. And so there's a chance that you'll lose your ammunition, you'll run out of it. But this is... Everybody took one shot, so everybody's doing their one conserved ammunition, sort of like free shot per combat. Alright, but we did 7 points of damage to one of them. So we plugged one of them. Alright, so these things are not super intelligent. I think this is probably, well, I guess it doesn't matter if it's an intelligence or wisdom. Sort of save, like, I'm going to make this a roll under sort of situation. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt for with an intelligence 11 to be like, they should just hang out in here instead of rushing out to fight. So they got to roll 11 or under. Alright. So they do. They turtle up, and I think they move away from the windows. So probably can't get a clear shot on any of them. We don't have line of sight on any of them. Now, Leah could... If Leah has something, she could drop a bomb in there. Magical area effect, which she doesn't really have. I mean, she could do ice knife. I assume this thing's pretty small, though. Like, the area, the home is probably... Dugouts tend to be pretty small homes. Make a ranged attack. On a hit, it deals 1d10. The shard explodes. Can she hit all of them? I assume she can probably hit all of them. I do have to target a creature, though, don't I? Yeah, which I can't see from here. I don't have direct line of sight to a creature, so I can't use that spell. If I had one, I should have done that in the first round instead of Firebolt. Should have moved up and done that. Oh well. It is what it is. So, they will move closer towards the door, and closer towards the door. We don't really have anything that could help us out here, I don't think. Yeah, I think we're just going to have to storm it. So everybody moves closer, so that moves everybody within 60. Because they basically take the dash action and get closer. We'll give them another round of trying to keep their cool. They've got to roll 11 or under. They do. They keep their cool. They stay hidden. Those mean locks are in there. Alright. Let's move us within 30 of the door. Everybody moves up to within 30 of the door. Can we see anybody? Yeah, alright. So we can definitely see somebody in there now. Then she is absolutely going to do that. They probably have half cover then, if she can see them. So, 17 AC, they get +2, right? Natural 20. So she sees one of these things, critters kind of like poke their heads out, and she pop hits it with the staff. The spell comes out. Ice knife. Boom. Hits it. Double damage. I'll take it. 8 points of cold damage. I don't think they have any sort of resistance to cold damage, do they? No. Okay. So that first one, we'll go 1, 2, 3. 3. Okay. So it wasn't the same one. Takes This one at the end takes 8 points of damage. Taking down to 23, and then that one's going to explode. Can I hit... Alright, if I roll a 4, 5, or 6, I get both of them. If not, just one. Alright, I'm just going to get one. First one or second one? First one. Alright. They need to make a dex saving throw, I believe. That's probably going to be a fail. Let's double check, but I'm pretty sure that's a fail. Yeah, DC 10, for sure. And they take 2d6 cold, right? Oh, it's piercing damage. Doesn't matter. Ooh, and that one takes 5 points of damage. That one's down to 19 hit points. Alright. So that's Leah's turn. It's their go. So, yeah, they're getting picked away here, and now they know that magic's on the table. I need to go ahead and spend Leah's. So, we'll have to see. Are they going to stay in the fight? Are they gonna rush out? Nope, they're gonna still turtle up and hide. It's the best they can do. They're kind of filled. Do we completely lose sight of them? No. All right, so we can still hide them. So it doesn't seem like there's some sort of secret way they can get out or something like that. Maybe they didn't burrow in then. So we're just kind of shooting fish in a barrel. We're trying not to engage, but we don't want to use more of our ammunition as a problem. Well, we know Delg's going to sling because Delg basically has free ammunition because he uses rocks. Yeah, he's not going to hit, but he slings. On Imbar, they really don't want to shoot. I think Imbar's going to... I think both of them... Imbar's going to take the lead, and so she's going to take the dodge action, shield up, and just move towards the door to try to lure them out so at least they're not behind cover when we attack. They won't have the light sensitivity, but at least they won't be in cover, so we'll better chance of doing that. So she's going to take the dodge action. Ott's going to be behind her. Do we want to switch her out? Yeah, let's switch out. And she'll use her spear, but she will hold an action for when one of them comes within range, and then she's going to give it a poke. Alright, so that's their turn. Let's see if they come out. So Leah's back at the top. Everybody's pretty well hidden, or trying to hide. She will do a firebolt at one of the ones. She can see. Which one does she see? 6. Alright, so the one at the end. So we'll do a firebolt. I don't think that's gonna hit. I don't think she has a +7. Yeah, no. So another line of fire races past over Imbar's shoulder and explodes along the inside, and you see these things sort of curl up away from the light of the fire as it bursts against the wall inside this building. It is their turn. Certainly 2 of them are going to move to engage. Well, here's a question. Can all 3 of them get to... Yes, okay. So all 3 of them will get there. And so 1, 2, 3, and they'll either be against Imbar or against Ott. Alright, so that's 1 against Imbar and 2 against Ott, unfortunately. So the one against Imbar obviously has disadvantage. No, I don't think that's going to matter. I think they're going to hit her anyways. And they're now in the fear aura. No, 17's not going to hit. Oh, be paralyzed. Oh, this is a bad fight. I should have read the rest of that stat block. Leah would know that. I think Leah's going to be like, get back, get back, get back. Don't go in there. But it's too late. Apparently, that's my fault, but they're going to pay the price. Sorry, guys. Sorry, PC characters and sidekicks. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to get you killed. And 2 are going to attack. Well, this is going to be really important. Ott. 14 is not going to hit Ott. And less than 14 is not going to hit Ott. Okay, so we're good there. Alright, so that brings us back under them, which is everybody else, basically. Alright, it's Imbar's turn. Imbar has somebody next to her. She's gonna get smashy with a hammer. So she is gonna have advantage. She has a +6. They do have gang up. Alright, 18's gonna hit. And she does 3d6. So 13 plus 14, 15. Nice. So she does 15 points of damage to... Which one? Which one does she have in front of her? The first one. Nice. Alright. So that one is on death's door. That's hers. And so she's got her shield up. She's holding up. She's going to hold the breach still. That brings us to Ott. Ott has her spear. She is going to take a stab at that one that's hurt. Real bad. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Don't roll a 1. Didn't roll a 1. Alright. Killed him. And then she's going to use her cunning action to disengage now that she knows that these things paralyze. So Imbar's going to move in to sort of cover her retreat, and she's going to move back and disengage and move out. That brings us to Delg. Delg's in the back. He'll just sling. Some of them have left cover, so doesn't matter. He's not going to hit. Back at the top, that's Leah. Leah's got one of them that's in there. I guess all of them move towards the door. She does not... I don't think she has the light spell. If so, I just cast it on her. On something. Nope, she doesn't. Alright, but she does have Mold Earth. So I'm going to try to do a cool thing. Let's see if I can... I'll make her make an Arcana check. She's going to try to use her Mold Earth ability, which is 5 feet of... 5-foot cube of dirt. Which, this is a dugout, so the whole thing's made out of dirt. So I think she's going to try to collapse... Well, we don't really want to collapse it because we want to stay in it. Maybe we're not going to do that. Never mind. I'm not going to do that. Instead, we'll just go with the Firebolt. It does high damage. We're pretty decent at it. Come on, Firebolt. Firebolt. Nope. That's going to miss. Alright. So we got 2 of these things. Well, we've got 2 on Imbar, so they're going to attack. They have gang up now. A 19's certainly going to hit her. They do 2d4 plus 2, I believe. So she will take 6 points of damage. But more importantly, she needs to make a Constitution saving throw. Okay, good. She succeeded, so she is not paralyzed. They are in the fear aura, though, which means they can't move any closer. That's all that means, right? They can't move any closer. Right? Or be frightened. Yeah, frightened. Okay. Is the start of their turn. Imbar will need to roll for that frightened condition. Nope, she is frightened, which I believe gives her disadvantage on the attacks, right? Yeah, with Source and Sight. Alright, so she's up there, but she's attacks, but she's with disadvantage on one of them. Well, natural one's not gonna hit. Great job, Imbar. Ott's in the back. Ott doesn't really have... What is Ott gonna do? Ott have any daggers? Nope. Oh, well, I mean, she can always disengage, right? She can move in and then attack and disengage. So she will do that. But when she does, she moves into the aura, right? Or do you have to start your turn in it? One moment. Has to start its turn. So she had moved away, so she doesn't have to worry about that. So she will get the gang up, try to stab the one that's hurt. Doesn't matter anyway, she's going to disengage and move back out of the aura. Alright, well, great job. Delg, sling. Nope, alright. Alright, just a bunch of low rolls. Leah, do the firebolt thing. That will hit. 10. I assume she goes after the one that's more hurt. Let's do 8 points of damage. Which takes us down to 15. The second one. I assume that they're like psychically kind of screaming at them, right? Because they don't really make any noise. Other than just probably like chittering kind of noise. They have Imbar. They have advantage against Imbar. One will certainly hit. For absolutely minimum damage of 4. Which is good. She's down to 29 hit points. And she needs to make a Constitution saving throw. She passes. Whew, not paralyzed. But the second one also has to attack. And will also hit her. For 7 points of damage. Does she pass her Constitution saving throw? No, she fails. She's paralyzed. So Empire took 7 more points. Ouch. And she's paralyzed, which is not good. It is Imbar's turn. Do they save on their turn? Repeat their saving throw at the end of each of their turns. Can't really do much else, I think, on paralyzed, right? I think you're pretty much stuck. Incapacitated. Yeah, attackers have advantage. Adjacent attacks are auto crit, so we need to move her out of there as quickly as possible. She will try to redo her Constitution saving throw. Come on. And roll the same thing, so no! No, it doesn't work. Alright. Well, that's her. She's frozen with this thing. Alright. Ott's going to move up, use her bonus action to disengage, her cunning action, and then she's going to grab Imbar and try to drag her out, because that won't provoke, because it's forced movement. But I do think she's going to have to make a strength check. Oh, it's not a very good strength check. Unless I roll a really terrible DC, which I don't think I probably am. I don't. Alright, so it tries to pull her, but doesn't really get her out of the way. Does she get him away at all? No. Alright. So she's trying to pull her, but Imbar's in a bunch of heavy armor. Kind of hard to deal with. Well, that's Dot's turn. Delg's gonna go. Delg's gonna sling. Hey, he's gonna hit, though. Nice. For 2 points of damage. So down to 13. It is Leah again. So, question, can Leah angle an ice knife or chromatic orb to not hit her friends? Question mark? No, okay. If she does that, she's definitely going to hit one of them. She has to target a creature with the spell. Does she have something else maybe she could do? Well, she's got the one of the magic missiles. She could try the silvery barbs too. I forgot about that. I think, right, don't you have to target somebody with chromatic orb? I'm pretty sure you do. Add a creature you can see. Well, not that then. Dang. I guess I'm going to use the wand of magic missiles. I'm going to use 3 charges of it. And she's going to shoot at the one that is already hurt. So maybe we can get this one just taken out. Nope, that's only 10 points of damage. It does hurt her quite a bit, though. Down to 3. Problem is, there's no place for them to... Normally, I'd be making, like, morale checks at this point, but there's no place for them to run. They are stuck in that place. We've backed them into a corner. So... Alright, well, they're going to make attacks against... well... First one... Oh, interesting. And the second one... Oh. Alright, they're both going to attack Ott for some reason. I don't really know why. They still have advantage on Ott. They're maybe trying to get both of them. 18 will... I'm pretty sure hits her. Yes. Alright, so that'll hit. 2d4 plus 2. Oh, 9 points damage. Ouch. And then she needs to make a con save as well. So she doesn't get paralyzed. She does make that save. The second one will attack. Will also hit for 2d4. That's less, which is nice. But she's down to 19 hit points. So not a super great spot in general. She needs to make her Constitution saving throw. Oh, she fails that. They're both immobilized then, for the moment. Or paralyzed. Dang! Alright. Not in a good situation. That was their turn. So it is Imbar's turn. Imbar's paralyzed, so she needs to save. She does not save. Ott needs to save. She does save. Alright, so Ott is not paralyzed anymore. But they lost their turns, which is not great. Delg is going to go after the one that's hurt. Come on, Delg. No. She is going to ice snipe the one with the most HP. So, missed on the attack, and then targeting each creature, which is going to include both of my allies, unfortunately. Must make a dexterity saving throw. Okay, so for the first mean lock, they fail. The second mean lock, they fail. Here's the problem. Imbar auto fails because she's still paralyzed. Ott, though... Ott will also fail. Okay, cool. So everybody takes 7 damage. Everybody takes 7 damage. Alright. Well, that's going to kill at least one of them, which is what I was trying to do. So we're down to 15. Delg's going to have to do some stuff. He's going to have to get in there with that healer's kit. Alright, so that one died. And then this one has 24 damage left. It is that one's turn. Who's it going to attack? Imbar. Okay. Has advantage, and it crits if it hits. It hits. So it's going to do... Could have been a lot worse. 9, 10, 11 points of damage to Imbar. Ouch. She's already paralyzed, so doesn't need to remake that save. It is Imbar's turn. Can you unparalyze yourself? Nope, sure can't. Ott. Ott, you are in the room. Gonna try to pull... I think gonna try to... disengage and try to pull Imbar back. Again. With strength. Man, it's not very good. It's always possible, though. But not with rolls like that. That's 12. For the DC. So we did not... there's no way she has +3 to her strength. So she is going to disengage and move back. So it's just going to be Imbar in the firing line, frozen up. That is Ott's turn. Delg is going to move into the aura, but try to be behind Ott, so he's not in the firing line. And do a little heal on her. So he's going to use his action to do 1d6 plus 8 hit points back. 9. So she'll get 9 hit points back. But he can only do it the once. You know what? He has this... he'll disengage and move back as well. He doesn't need to disengage. He'll just move back as well. Dash if he needs to. And move out. Alright. Alright, Leah, what are you going to do? Things hurt pretty bad. I think she's going to use her own 2nd level magic missile. So let's knock off. We did another 1st level spell. But she's going to use her own 2nd level magic missile. So that's 15 points of damage. Boop. She slaps. Pop, 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 pop. Magic missiles into this creature. But it is not enough to take it out. It's got one target. It's going to attack. It's got advantage. It's going to auto crit. If it hits, which it's not going to, actually. Wow. So its claws just scrape across Imbar's armor. Not actually able to penetrate her, even though she's paralyzed. Imbar, I could really use a good save now. Okay. Alright. She's no longer paralyzed. Good. Fortunately, that is the end of her turn. This thing looks like it's on its last legs. Do we want to charge in and try to just get it really good? I think so. I think Ott's going to charge in with her spear. And now she has advantage, right? Because her person's not paralyzed anymore. Is that a hit? No. That's a 14. Dang it. Delg's going to do the same. He's going to pull out his spear and charge in. Ah! That's actually a 16, so Delg will hit. And he'll do 2 points of damage. Well, it's something. That brings us back up to Lee at the top. Alright. We really need this thing to be dead. I think we're gonna rest anyways. So I think the best thing to do, because she still has She has spells left. If we use a first level spell, it could technically still live, but that's pretty unlikely. We'd have to roll a 1 on every single die. I'm willing to roll those dice. So she will cast a first level magic missile. That's her last first level slot. With 3d4 plus 3. 9, 10, 11, 12. This thing is dead. And more magic darts. Pop, pop, pop. As the three sort of rush the doorway and stab at this last creature that's still up with their spears. And then Leah's darts come in and hit it, and that thing, charred corpse, hits the ground. And we are successful. And that seems like a good place to do our accommodations for the night, and that's probably where we're going to end things. But let's go ahead and roll for some treasure. To see what's in this sort of like isolated home. I assume, I'm not even going to roll for it, because I assume if there was a person who was living in here, they're dead. Because these are pretty nasty creatures. They either ran or they are dead. Alright, let's do some treasure. Alright, so let's do a D20 roll for our treasure. 2. So we've got some pocket contents. I'll just set this up. Doop. Alright, so these guys are dead. So we ran across 3 mean locks. We killed them in a drawn out, really Pyrrhic victory. It really cost us a lot to do that fight. We really probably, if we had rested, they would have attacked us. It's the problem. That is the problem. So we got pocket contents. Let's roll again. Pocket contents. And 2 trade goods. Okay, so 2 pocket contents, 2 trade goods. Just sort of rummage around in this place. Alright, let's do the pocket contents first. 5 and 4. Yeah, found some money. In a little hidey hole, we find 3 GP. And 3 gold. Let's roll our other pocket contents. So, that probably means that we found a dead body in there. 6 and a 1. Ooh, and a banknote. Worth how much? Ooh, 5. That's 2 D10. No, D10. And a, I assume Karjunton banknote. So, those who are not familiar, banknotes kind of are a precursor of, like, checks, kind of. And a precursor of basically paper money. Basically, that you have an institution that says, if you bring this here, it's worth this. So there is a Karjunton banknote that's worth 7 gold. So it allows you, it's kind of like a traveler's check kind of thing, so you don't have to walk around with a bunch of cash on you. Right? It's not worthless unless you take, it's worthless unless you take the banknote to that place. And then you can basically draw that amount of money out of that person's account. So that's what that is. But it's like bearer's bonds. It's like, there's no signatory, like, I am the recipient of this, that you have to prove who you are. It's just, it's a piece of paper that says what it says. Alright, and we have 2 trade goods. What do we got for trade goods? Let's see. Let's roll. 13. Ah, some sort of ingots or ore. What is it worth? Well, it's not worth much. 10 silver. Let's say like a copper ore nugget with about 7 silver. So not a lot, but you know, a little. It's a little something. And then one more trade good. Some books or writing supplies. That might be slightly more useful for us. Here, hold on. 80, 20. Alright, that's not very much. So 6 copper. So we'll just put that down as sort of paper. So that's sort of what we find in this old sort of. Let's ask this: is there a fresh body in there? I think that's. We did roll pocket contents, a number of them, so I think that's likely. So +3. Yeah. All right. So there's a fresh body in here, relatively fresh body. I assume we have no idea. I don't even really want to roll for it. We have no idea who this person is. All right. So I think what we're gonna do, what our plan of action is that we're gonna bury this body. And take ourselves a long rest. And so that's what we're going to do next time, and then from there we will move on, because we're right there. We're going to hit that inn next. So I really wanted to hit it this time, but we're already overextended and we're already running low on resources, so I think we need to stay overnight in this sort of isolated hut. And then we will deal with this next time, where we will finish our extended rest, and then we will head on into the inn to see if we can find Dren's sibling and get some answers about this sort of goblin map. But yeah, that's everything we need to talk about today. Thanks for coming along with me. Always fun, always kind of weird to see where it goes. Had all those 20s in the front, and then on the back end, right, we had a whole bunch of low rolls, which did not help us in that combat at all. So we'll do more of these. I do know that I think the next video that we kind of talked about doing is that I'm going to do sort of a hex mapping, kind of talking about the hex mapping system, or the hex crawling system that we use here. I think it's that's sort of the plan of what we're going to do next time. So check out, you can come and see the live stream that I'll probably do next Saturday. I think that's going to be probably when I'm going to do it. So same bat channel, same bat time. If you missed that, of course, I'll probably have it up the week, some part in the week later. I'll have a slightly cut down episode that you guys can check out on the YouTube channel as video. As long with this, if you only caught part of the stream, don't worry, you can catch, if this is the only stream you've caught as well, all this stuff's over on the YouTube channel. It's all documented. There's a nice long playlist. You can catch up to where we are now and figure out when I'm throwing out all these names and you're like, I don't know who that is. Well, that's how you get to know who those people are. Lots of fun. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys next time. All right? Bye.